guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Sunday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Sunday, guys. Your girl's here on a Sunday, honey. I'm getting these recordings caught up. I'm feeling myself. I'm in my zoosh. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. 3 of you have already asked me, where is my quote-unquote come hang out with me video? I got some things. I have to edit it. So it'll probably be like, I don't know. I have to edit it. But in this email, I want to respond to a good sis who, okay, so to kind of summarize her email, she said she heard me said in one of the recordings, I'm not sure which one it is, but she said she heard me say that there's a difference between helping, quote unquote, a man or assisting a man. What does that really look like? Because technically, she's been hearing, let it be through podcast or whatever the case may be, that a woman shouldn't help a man because once a man get up on his feet, he will take advantage of you, leave you for somebody who didn't. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. That's why I'm sure in that very recording that you're speaking about, there's a 99% chance that I hit it from different perspectives, if you will. So I'm going to speak on that. So there's two sides of that. And also, this is just not your average woman. This is a tap-in woman, right? Because the average woman is moved by emotions. So you definitely can't help a man if you're 100% driven by emotions. Honey, you will be broke tomorrow in debt for 35,000 years. These are spiritual assignments, but it's a whole different level. I'll break it down, sis, so you can understand what I was saying a little bit better. But really quickly, I want to speak in regards to a personal download that I received, that some of our purpose and callings look a little bit different than what God actually showed you, told you, etc., etc. But don't get it twisted. I believe, well, definitely for me, I'll speak for myself, the purpose is the same. Like, I believe our purpose don't change. Our callings change, meaning at the core, the foundation, your purpose remains. For example, that can look like you're a server. Most chosen people are servers. You are here to serve other people. You are literally a vessel, right, of God to get things done on the earth that God needs to get done. Okay, in whatever way that may be, we all are purposed to do different things. But you can be called to different things in different seasons. So, all right, at your core, you're a server. One season, you may be called to serve the homeless people. In another season, you may be called to serve specifically your husband, your wife, your children. Another season, you're called somewhere across in a different country to do missionary work, right? You're called to volunteer. So your purpose stays the same, but your calling can change depending on the season and how God wants to use you in that particular season. Okay, so it's important to be fluid, because what the enemy will try to do is he'll try to make you think that because something is not going exactly the way God showed you, that you're off course, or that it was never God. It was a familiar spirit. It was your own flesh. Not so. Remember, the enemy is going to attack anything that God has for you to do, including your blessings. So you got to stay tapped in. You have to be fluid. God is very strategic. So is the enemy. So when the enemy hits, boom, he hits something. God got to get strategic, right? What do most people do? They get hit and then they just sit there like, okay, well, it wasn't God. No, you got to tap back in, right? God's going to show you another strategic route. Okay, so I'll use me for a personal example. All right, so at my core, I'm a server. I'm a chosen one. I'm a vessel. However he needs to use me, honey, regardless if you understand or not, I know when and how he needs to use me. I'm tapped in, and I don't need anybody's approval. Period. Kizzy. So, some seasons, I'm called to my career, meaning I'm so invested that I don't even have time for any outside, because the calling itself is to my patient specifically, right? This can look like some that may be about the transition, or some may not have family. So I'll be called specifically in my career, and then I have no outside things. Well, I had a whole season with Mr. Steve, the homeless, right? I had a whole season there. But recently, I'll say like in the last couple of years, God has been placing in my heart Africa, right? But remember, God gives us bits and pieces at times. This is why I tell people, your purpose is not going to always be lights, camera, and actions like the full package of what you're looking for. Many times, it's your obedience to your current convictions that will lead to your ultimate purpose. So it can start very subtly, very, very small, but he's going to watch you like a hawk. Because if I can't trust you at this level, I sure can't trust you to be obedient at the next level. Okay, so he placed Africa in my heart, but it was just that. There was no direction. He just placed the prompting in my spirit, almost like, just remember this. Don't forget this, if you will. Okay, a little bit of time go on. Then he starts to connect me with different people, right? See, if it's part of your destiny, your purpose, and your calling, God's going to bring people, destiny helpers. These people can look like people who are already established in a certain place, right? These can look like people that you're going to join certain things with. Again, however he wants to use you. But this is why it's crucial, all caps, crucial, to allow God to bring the people to you. Where we go wrong at is getting ahead of God, and then we start trying to hand pick a person just because, oh, I see you're from Africa. Oh, I see you're from this, that, and the third. Oh, I heard you're writing a book. Well, God had it in my spirit to write a book, so maybe we should be deaf. No, honey, it does not work like that. He will literally align it. It will come so naturally, in fact, that you wasn't even looking for it to happen. You wasn't thinking about that particular person. It somehow it just aligned, and boom, you start meeting people. All right. So that being said, I started to meet different people. One is my good sis Ify, who is from Nigeria, who is currently in the States in medical school. So I remember reaching out to her some years ago, and we're definitely spiritual sisters. We're definitely, without a doubt, destiny helpers to each other. I remember reaching out to her before she came to med school in the States and asking her if she could do some research on some of the orphanages over there, right? Because I felt like God was saying children. Now, mind you, children is not my ministry. I don't even have children. I don't want children. Period. I ain't got time. Some of you guys are called specifically to children. That can be your very own. Like, honey, there's this desire in you that all you want to do is work and save and coddle and love on children. Beautiful ministry. Beautiful. But that's not my particular calling. At least it was not in other seasons. Again, remember, your purpose stays the same, but your calling can change. Well, in this season, he prompted me Africa/children, and not even so much limited to children, if you will, but that's what I felt the desire was. Okay. I don't have all of the nuggets I need, so you stay put. Just remember what I said. Okay. So as a little bit more time go on, then he gives you more kind of revelation, more little insights, and then boom, to this current time right here, what's going on? The airplanes are crazy. Nobody wants to fly. Definitely not to a different country right now, especially with all the different things going on with passports and this, that, and the third. You might go somewhere, you get stuck over there. So it's like this halt. It's this halt. Okay. So that's where some of you guys are right now. There's a halt. God showed you something. He called you to something in this particular season. You were on course, and boom, you hit a halt. This is where you have to be fluid, because the enemy also will try to make you think like, oh, well, if it's from God, everything should be smooth sailing. You should never hit a hiccup. You should never have delays. Not so. If it's from God, it's going to be attack. That God will use the different attacks, right? Like he'll use it to shape and mold you. I'll talk about that because I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So, okay, all that is going on. And I'm just like, Lord, I was about to get up on the plane. Like, I already meet other people who do missionaries and like who already had they've been doing this stuff for years. They've been causing this stuff for years, and here I'm ready to go, Lord. Just I'm let's go. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, right? Now, granted, if he was calling me to still go, I would go. But there's literally a halt. There's a halt. And not so much that I'm afraid to fly, if you will. There is literally a halt. In the spiritual realm, there's a halt. All right. So then all of a sudden, some months or so ago, there's this prompting to join TikTok. And I'm like, well, not join it per se. I've always been on it for quite some time, but it just wasn't my thing. I would go on it every now and then, even still, so every now and then, if I'm honest. But as I'm scrolling through TikTok, randomly, it shouldn't even be on my algorithm, because I wasn't searching for Africa's children. Like, never. But that goes to show how, again, God is strategic. He will supernaturally align things to keep you aware, basically, of what he already told you. So I'm not jumping ahead of him, trying to get over to Africa and try to run over what he says. He says, be still, but I'm trying to get ahead of him. And so now I'm going to go it. No. I went back to just doing what I know to do. Minding my business, trusting, believe that if he brings it back to my attention, if he says now go, now you go. If he says hold, you stay. So now I'm sitting here and I'm scrolling and I'm all these kids, right, in different parts of Africa, Cameroon, Nigeria, Uganda, this, that, and the third. And these kids are like they're dancing and I'm sure you guys have seen some of the videos where they're dancing or whatever, but the more I scroll, the more different parts of Africa. And then that's when I learned about the, what is it called? When the coins, basically you send coins, which is our money, but it's more money to them or whatever. So I didn't even know you could do that. So that was something that he brought to my attention. And then I started to quote unquote serve them in that way. Matter of fact, when I do the come hang out with me video, when I edit it, I'll include some of those clips. I've done that before on YouTube, but I will include some of those clips into this current video to kind of show you guys, because that's what I did all day on yesterday. Okay. If you see the gratitude and the blessings. I just got a download just now. When I was speaking. Wow. Okay, remember I was saying that I felt it was specifically to kids, not adults, et cetera, which is rare for me. I'm typically the one called to adults, right? But I just got a prompting in my spirit, is because with the children, you can catch them early, right? Meaning you're helping them to build whatever it is they're building, right? You're pouring into them early, because a lot of these kids like message me, like seriously, like these kids are the most grateful. They will just literally message you and say thank you, and then you talk to them, and then you figure out what they got going on and things like that. So you pour into them early on, where with adults, most times when they're gone, meaning scammers, users, abusers. Okay, these are adults. So they were already shaped, mold, conditioned in that way. And even as adults now, that's why you hear so much about scammers, things like that. And let's be clear. Let's be real clear. It is not everybody. And it's definitely not just in Africa. You got scammers right over here too. So I want to make sure I'm clear there, right? However, that's the download I just received, and that's going to stick with me. Thank you for that, Holy Spirit. So it looks completely different than what God showed me. I saw myself on these planes going back and forth, maybe building some schools and this, that. Not now. I'm making the point here. Like I feel like vision-wise, that's what He's showing me, and building these orphanages. And of course, this comes along with your destiny helpers and your partners over time, like establishing things over there, et cetera, et cetera. But it looks nothing like that now. But I'm still serving African children. And I trust and believe that because I'm obedient in this area, right, I'm allowing him to lead me, and I can't help all of them for different reasons. I just can't help all of them. I could if I would, but remember, this is purpose and calling. So there's a prompting to help certain ones. Let's just say, for example, I can stroll past 50 videos in a minute. I'm exaggerating. I can stroll past 50. There's going to be a good 3 or 4 out of the 50 that, boom, there's a nudge. This one, that one. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know. For some of them, it could be adults are scamming using the children, but taking all the kids' money and doing what they want to do, right? So God already knows that. So there's a conviction not to help here, right? There may already be somebody else who will help that particular child or children that day. So God already know someone else is going to plant a seed there. So you don't plant a seed here. I need you to plant a seed here because there's somebody who's going to plant a seed with this particular group today. So you see the difference. You're not moving from emotions. And as emotional as we are, honey, we can't move from emotions. I'm moving from spiritual convictions and prompting. So even when I see messages from some of them, and it may not even be children all the time. It could even be adults hiding behind the platforms. Even when I'm reading the messages, boom, that's a scammer. Boom, nope, keep it moving. Next one. So you see the difference. This is why it's crucial for us to be in alignment as chosen people. We can't decipher on our own. Our hearts are not set up to a posture where we can just no, we would have to help them all if it was just us. We're not here for us. We're literally vessels. Okay. So that's all I got in regards to that, meaning this is where I currently am, and I'm very satisfied and very fulfilled in just doing that, even though I felt like God showed me something bigger. But I got to be obedient to this current level. If I even want him to show me bigger, or, right, I'm sure everything will get settled again where the planes aren't, where things are much more calmer when it comes down to the government and officials who are in house, things like that. Things will get calm again. But don't get discouraged because you don't feel like it's exactly what God showed you. Okay? Something popping up really quickly. The enemy will also try to trick you in your purpose by sending you somebody who have the wrong motives. And maybe because you missed it, you're ready to walk away from the whole thing that God called you to. Because it's almost like, okay, Lord, if I'm coming to do something for you and I'm trying to be a vessel for you, and here you got somebody with the wrong motives coming to me, like I'm just going to I'm gonna walk away. Like these people got wrong characters, right? Wrong motives. And maybe they did something to you and now you want to walk away from the very ministry that God has called. No. Here's a lot of times what will happen. God will allow, all caps, allow a person to have wrong motives, be a scammer, be a gossiper, something, whatever the something is, he will allow it. Why? It is used to sharpen your discernment. So before he takes you higher to the next level, right? Remember, he has to build you at this level. So if you can miss a scammer now, if you can miss a gossiper now, if you can miss a demonic spirit now, you're going to miss it at the next level when you have access to even more. So he's sharpening you, right? So I'm thankful that he gave me a great example of the purest spirits that I've encountered through my good sis Ify, but I've also scammered a few others with dirty characters, right? Now, granted, for whatever reason, it's okay. He gave 2 examples, okay? You see a dirty character with one. I gave you a pure, beautiful spirit of another. This is to show you that you are to never put everybody in one category. There's good and bad people in all walks of life, right? So this is to sharpen your discernment. This is to show the other individuals that they failed their test in regards to they could have went higher, but they failed their test. But don't judge your current calling, friends, if you've encountered somebody shisty, somebody in your current, please, I don't know why I can't get up off of this. And one of you guys have been trying to start a ministry, and then the person that you thought that could have been like a potential destiny helper or vice versa, and the person had very shady character or whatever, or maybe you find out they were talking behind your back or starting rumors in church or whatever the ministry is, please don't walk away from the very calling that God called you to just because you encountered one and you missed the mark. It's used to sharpen your discernment. You won't make that mistake again. Okay? So that's all I want to say right there. So no, I'm still not at the whole full vision of the picture, but I'm obedient in the current level. So it looks completely different than what he says, but it's still ultimately the same. You're serving children or even people in Africa. Very strategic. In fact, you're reaching more. Oh, I just got that. Because on the internet, it's different parts of Africa. Where if you fly one place, you're stationary there. Oh, that was good. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so let's respond really quickly to my good sis. Who wants me to talk about perspectives when it comes to helping a man. Okay, sis. Absolutely. The average woman should not be helping a man. Okay. Now, again, ride with me. I got to hit it from different perspectives. Helping a man and assisting a man is two different things. And now, again, maybe it could be the same. I have to find another word in replace of helping. But what I'm speaking about is any man should never be trying to come up off of your back. Right? The man that I'm speaking about is a man who already have things in motion, meaning he's already in his purpose and his calling. It may not be successful yet, but he's already doing everything. Like he's working, he's grinding, like he already got motion going on. This is not your man who's sitting at home and have no kind of desire to even try to tap in and find purpose and calling, right? Who have no desire to work and I'm not speaking about that kind of man, honey. I'm not speaking about that kind of man, honey. I don't even know. Child. So I'm speaking about a specific type of man. Okay. And even when I'm speaking about this man, let's just say this is a person who may not be working or may not have zero motion, right? He could be in a very down season, meaning he just came out of a divorce. He just lost his whole business because, I don't know, the economy tanked in. So he's at zero, literally. So he have to start his life completely over, right? So this man may have nothing, but this man is still out there every day trying to get it. A real man will never be comfortable allowing a woman to take care of him and he have no motion going on. In fact, truth of the matter is, even if he have motion going on, he's still going to be uncomfortable with a woman taking care of him or having to help him. Men are just built differently. Men literally, most, right? Because everybody's not a man, if you will, regardless if they got... every male is not a man, if you will, right? But with a man, he's going to be very uncomfortable. In fact, this man may try to borrow whatever he needs from everybody else before he even comes to you. And if he have to come to you, honey, it ain't going to be easy for him. This is why you got to be tap in and discern, right? Where sometimes it don't even have to get to that point. You already know how God needs you to move. But again, this is a man that God has ordained to be in your life one way or another. This doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. This can be your brothers. This can be friends, just whatever, right? Just whatever. So he already have motion. Also, I stated, I think I know which recording you're talking about now. I think it's the one where I was talking about don't let men run game on you. I think it's that one. Also, I stated, even if God has ordained or not ordained, if this is not somebody you got out of the mud with together, meaning you guys have been invested in this thing for years and years and years, and both of you guys were broke, right? Please get something in writing. So if he do lose his mind, Even if God sent him, people who God sent lose their minds all the time and walk away. At least you're covered. So you're not sitting here like, oh, I billed you. I was with your broke behind when nobody did it. Oh, you want to leave and be crazy? Leave, because I'm going to get more than what I invested. So make sure you got something in writing if it gets to that level. And I'm speaking investing wise. I'm not speaking about like, somebody need some Burger King for lunch or something. I don't know. I'll give you an example. Okay, men have to find their own vision. Where women go wrong at, we want to like try. Like there's been men who like, because the visionary in me, I can, oh my goodness, I can see it clear as day. And I can't say I can see the vision for them. I can just see a vision where I don't even know like if it's something that they can see equally, if you will. Maybe not, I don't know. But I know that I can see how God can take and branch that thing off. But that's not my job to speak on that. That's between that man and God. And Lord, sometimes it's hard not to like jump in, right? Because you already know, ladies, once we touch it, that boom, that thing turns to gold. So that's not for every man. That's for a man specifically you're called to. This is not your boyfriend. Some of you guys got boyfriends every 6 months. So please don't invest in no man. Please. This needs to be your husband. This needs to be some kind of God-ordained assignment. God-ordained assignment. So, okay, I'll give you an example. All right, so there's a gentleman in a different country. God just recently placed him in my spirit. Out of so many others, there was a prompting. Again, like I always say, there's a prompting. So when I started to research him, he already got motion. Now, the motion is limited because it's in a poor country and it just, But when I say a man, I'm talking about getting up, cutting woods, building buildings, serving the community, got a few different businesses going on, etc., right? He's already in motion. But the visionary in me, and then certain things that God has shown me, shows how that thing can literally be contracted here, there, this, that, and the third. How you can connect some things and I would have to be a complete fool to sit here and tell this man, God showed me that I can take this thing and branch it off and boom, 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 boom. I can make you a millionaire overnight. I would have to be a complete fool. Honey, that man would try to marry me tomorrow. Right? You better have some common sense. You better stay spiritually tapped in and close your mouth. Right? So instead, there were little small things that I felt prompted to do. Very, very small little things. Do you know what those very little small things? This man have been adamant about trying to repay in different ways. Is reciprocity, but in different ways. Adamant. See, that's going to show you a real man. A real man is never going to take from you without investing in you. So even though he can't invest a lot, if you will, whatever he has, he's going to try to invest that thing to show you, I'm a man. I just can't take. Oh, no. I'm adamant. Oh, no, you going to take this. Even though it's not a lot, you going to let me do this, right? You going to such and such, right? So it's completely different. You're going to see reciprocity. So please, sis, again, let me clarify. The average woman should not be out here helping a man, because the average woman, again, is moved more by emotions and logic. The first time this man tells you he loves you, the first time this man messes around and break your back, honey, you done give this man your whole bank card. You not mess around, get this man your whole bank card. You got to sell your house, honey. You broke. This man not left you for a chick who work at Burger King, right? Because remember, men are naturally providers, so they need to feel wanted. So even if God has given it to you like that, you got to still position that thing in a way where he still feels wanted. So yeah, they will leave you for a woman who works at Burger King. Nothing wrong with Burger King. Now I'm trying to make an appointment in comparison to, because she makes him feel wanted. So a lot of the times, if you're not careful, you're going to attract a man because he sees something in you. Of course, he may see something that he can try to attach himself to, use and abuse you off. But ultimately, too, it's the vibe, it's the energy that because you're leveled up, because God have fruit and favor on your life, that's how they want to feel for themselves. So attaching themselves to you make them feel that same energy. So you mess around and level him up, and once he gets to that point, he is going to leave you for a chick who can offer him nothing. And the sad part about it is, he's not going to even be grateful. He won't even be grateful. So again, please don't do that. Next, it have to be people who you know you are spiritually called to as a backing. Next, if you haven't got it out the mud together, meaning years and years and years invested, please get something in writing. So when they do walk away, you got more than what you invested. Next, again, if this man has no motion and he's a straight bum, run as fast as you can. Real men are already in motion, even when they don't have it all figured out. Ladies, you know, we can get behind. Look, ciao, I can get behind something. And I'm telling you, it's like ping, 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 ping. God put so much pinging all in your spirit that thing can ping there and ping there and make money there and make money there and boom, 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 boom. Like, truly, oh, we got it. Especially my chosen sisters. Oh, we got it. But you're not to act on that thing for everybody. Next, when a person shows you their character, let's say this is a man from a romantic standpoint. Honey, if he have no discipline in his flesh and he already cheating on you, he don't have no discipline anywhere else. Why would you invest in a man who can't even discipline his flesh? That means every chick he deal with is going to prosper off of your money. So once God shows you his character, you better be out and out real quick. That is not a man that you stick around for. That's why I say, to me, one of the most attractive things, first and foremost, having a relationship with God, but a man who is disciplined sexually, and it's not to say it's easy for him. That's the whole point, honey. It puts him in a whole different level. First of all, God is going to trust him more. If he can discipline his flesh, honey, he can have discipline in any other. Because I think for a man, I'm not a man, but I think the flesh would be the most hardest thing to discipline. So if you can discipline your flesh, that means you can be disciplined in all areas of your life. So please pay attention. God will expose their character very early on. This is why you don't invest anything, including your heart, early on. People have to build themselves up to a certain level with you. Period. One time, you're gone. Point blank, period. Never to return. See you when Jesus come home. Point blank, period. We're too rare. We're too rare to be out here giving second chances. Period. And we're speaking about certain offenses now, of course. We all are human and we all can make minor mistakes. Cheating is not a mistake, honey. That's a whole action, especially when it's more than one time. If somebody needs to hear that today, cheating is not a mistake. It's a whole intentional action. People know what they're doing when they do it, especially when it happened more than one time. Walk away, sis. It's the only way he's going to ever realize the value that you, all caps, were, past tense, were. Sis, the main thing is always staying tapped in, right? When you're tapped in, you can't get it wrong. When we tap out, that's when we get it wrong. Stay tapped in. God will show you when, who, and what. Some people are not, like, please, again, this may not even be your calling. You may never supposed to be able to help or assist a man. Like, never. That's not for everybody. You got to know what you're doing. Play with it. Guys, I have a very busy day ahead. I'm going to have some fun today. I got to work today, but I want to mix it with some fun. So you guys have a great weekend. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.